Sometimes in life we are given opportunities to step back and see the bigger picture in the, maybe the arc of our own lives or in a story of some sort where it starts to make sense on a larger level rather than the smaller minuscule parts that we've been focusing on. We're able to see, oh, this is what's happening. This is how the story has gone. Maybe it's an arc of history where we can see that some things continue to happen in the same ways, or perhaps it's in our lives ourselves, and we can see how we've grown, how we've gone from here to here, and where we might still need to grow. One place where this is especially true, I think, is in the Bible, and it's like an aha moment for me. I remember when I could see kind of the arc of what God is doing for his people. Today in our first reading, we have a reading from the book of Deuteronomy, and Moses is telling the people to take care to observe the commandments and statutes of the law that God has given them, and not to forget them. Telling them no other nation has a God quite like our God, who is here whenever we call upon him. So what this does is it fits into a larger story of God showing his people, God freeing his people, God calling his people back to him. Because this is what has happened throughout all of salvation history. God created our first parents good, and they turned away from him. And from that moment on, now God has reached out with different ways of trying to bring them back. With the law, God is trying to show his people how to live in freedom. And he continues to try and do that. And when it fails, he finally sends Jesus, his son, who shows us what the law truly looks like in person. And he is the one who has written the law on our hearts through the power of the Holy Spirit. He says that what nation has God so close to them as our God is to us whenever we call upon him? I've spoken about this before, but God is in the midst of his people, and in that original language, it's actually something like God is in the intestines of his people, which is a little closer than we want to think, and it's a little more visceral sounding than is appetizing. But it's a great way to think about it, I think, because God is in those places even that we don't want to look. God is in those places that we don't want to bring to him, but he already knows about that, and he wants to teach us even there. The law and the prophets and Jesus himself, they're all there to help show us how to live in freedom. Let us ask the Lord to continue to show us, to reveal to us how we are to live, so that we might live forever with him in heaven.